Now, joining us live, our chief analyst, Khalif Rhodes. We heard the White House isn't considering clemency. This is all tied up right now because she's claiming the violations to her right to a fair trial. When will we get answers, or is it kind of tied up until these separate matters that Ghislaine is trying to push are resolved?
Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head. There's two different paths that we may be able to get her to testify fully and truthfully. One is if she's granted clemency. You saw the statement there that the White House doesn't want to grant clemency, that President Trump isn't even considering it. Well, on the other side, she's not wanting to speak if she's not granted clemency. So I think that path is dead right now. But it depends on how her case that's in front of the Supreme Court is resolved. If the court is able to say, okay, we'll give you some new type of hearing, and then ultimately, I mean, this is, a long stretch, but say potentially she's not, found guilty in some new trial that they grant her, then she wouldn't need clemency, then she could potentially speak. But that's a lot of what ifs. I think the cleaner route would be if the president would grant her clemency. Her attorney read that statement that Ms. Maxwell is prepared to speak fully and honestly if granted clemency by President Trump. But this is the part that I think is the best portion. He said only she can provide the complete account. Some may not like what they hear, but the truth matters. And so in law school, this is an old adage that says, if you have the law, pound the law. If you have the facts, pound the facts. If you don't have anything, pound the table. This example is pounding the facts. Hey, I got the facts. You guys don't know them. If you want them, you got to offer me something. So this is good lawyering, and I wouldn't advise my client to speak if I couldn't get something that would potentially help me down the road either.
So the White House isn't planning, as of right now, to provide clemency. What do you think Ghislaine Maxwell would have to say or provide? What cards would she have to show for the White House to go, okay, that's what we were waiting on, now we'll grant you clemency?
And see, this is weird because it's like I can't tell you what I know without you telling me you'll give me what I want. Now, sometimes, like for instance, in my state representative cases, they cannot offer me a deal with the condition of them speaking. So my client would, want to go give a testimony or give some type of statement. It can't be on the condition that, all right, I'll later dismiss something or I'll remove you. What they can give you is immunity for that specific charge, but it can't be for something, unrelated. And so this is a really weird position for the U.S. attorney that would be kind of creating some type of deal for her defense attorney, because you want them to know, hey, she knows a lot, and that's what that hint with she knows the truth and the truth matters, but I really can't tell you what it is because you're not telling me what you're going to give me. But then on their side, we can't really guarantee you to give you anything. That's why clemency is the only path, because a U.S. attorney type of deal wouldn't work because she's already been convicted anyway. So there is a deal without clemency would have had to been worked out prior to her conviction.
A tough spot to be in. Back to her trial and the appeal of her conviction, saying it was unconstitutional. We saw something similar with the Harvey Weinstein case, right, where that trial was, they called witnesses they weren't supposed to, right? And then he got a new one. But how hard is it to say that this trial was run improperly?
Extremely. I mean, first of all, you have to say that the underlying judge did something like not just made a mistake, but made a misstep of the law, maybe a reading of the law to the jury that was improper. As you mentioned, maybe a witness that was not supposed to testified. There are a number of ways that you can get there, but it's extremely hard to get there. Judges don't like to have their decisions overturned, so I'll start with that. But everyone will try to appeal, but are you able to make sure your appeal stand in front of the Supreme Court? I mean, extremely unlikely. And so, and then the other portion of it, even if you're successful with getting a new trial, that there was some type of misstep, once you get to that new trial, the facts are still going to be there. So even if they don't present those witnesses that they weren't supposed to present, you still have a mountain of other evidence that can ultimately lead to conviction. So if anything, that route is probably more ceremonial, more administrative than anything. And I don't want to say that a miscarriage of justice by not following the law is something administrative, but I mean, if it ultimately ends to you being convicted again, that's what it is.
Khalif, we know that Ghislaine's sentence, unless she's given credit for a good time or something else, will probably outlast President Trump's presidency. Is a deal for clemency you still on the table, depending on who's in the White House following President Trump and say, hey, the offer is still good if you'd like to offer clemency? My stance hasn't changed on the facts. Yeah,
and this is probably one, if it is a clemency granted, would be like a last minute, 24 hours before he walks out of office, and they're, signing hundreds of pardons and clemencies right at the end. I think that's the only scenario where she gets that, because again, President Trump is a deal maker. He's been making deals his entire life.
Right.
If you don't offer me any benefit of the bargain, if there's nothing that you can give me that would incentivize me to give you this, then I can sit on my hands and you can sit in prison for the next 20 years. There's no one is really offering the other side anything. And these type of negotiations happen on a daily basis on the lower level in state court and federal court every day.
All right, Khalif, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Another topic coming up with him.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.